Hello guys, this is Lana. Everybody knows about riots. What's happening right now? Is it peaceful protest? Do you think it's peaceful? It's in New York. It's crazy. Oh my god. We just destroy all businesses. We're just animals. We put on fire. Police car. New York. Oh my god.
Peaceful protesting, trying to stick to the message, and we're gonna back up a little.
Is it peaceful protest?
Hit. All right. Our producer got hit by some sort of projectile right there. We're gonna back up here.
Breaking overnight and caught right there on camera. That is a man lighting a San Bernardino DMV on fire. You can see him torching what looks like the kiosks and signs inside. Now, we've reached out to police to get further details, and we have not yet heard back. Also, protests that started off peaceful, but this is 2nd Street in San Bernardino where people marched chanting "No justice, no peace" yesterday. Looks like a peaceful sight there. The large crowd did move to the entrance of the 215 freeway. Police had blocked that exit.
Hello, I'm Mark Brett.
It's crazy. Take a look what's happening here.
Just throw it right through here.
And the one that was on the showroom floor, the 2 cars and driving them off the lot.
It's just vandalism.
Clearance store. It looked like they were finishing up and then starting to cross the street. The employees had moved some of the cars to block the driveway, and then he told them to retreat and get out of there.
Man, they're stealing all the cars.
Video posted to social media shows the moment looters were stealing brand new cars and driving them off the lot. Some of them stopping to burn out the tires on the way.
How many vehicles? Right now, we're thinking 50. Stolen? Gone. So we have trackers on them, so we're seeing which ones are out there. So they're running around everywhere.
Owner Carlos Hidalgo said the crooks broke into the building and gained access to the key safe.
They got through the first one.
And likely triggered the car alarms to guide them to the corresponding vehicle. Every empty parking space you see here represents a stolen car. They took nearly every high-end $100,000 Dodge Hellcat. The one that was in this spot was used to ram the other ones out of the way.
So just throw it right through here.
And the one that was on the showroom floor, they drove it right out the front window.
It's wild. Look at all these people.
Across the street, this was the scene last night in front of the Nike store. The parking lot filled with looters arriving in their cars. The damage gives you some hint of the tsunami of violence and criminal activity that was about to overcome the city. Shelves, racks, cash registers, all picked clean. Glass, merchandise, and debris were strewn out everywhere. See's Candy, emptied out. Togo sandwiches, ransacked as well. The dollar store, glass broken, but mostly untouched. By sunrise, we saw stragglers actually return to the scene with garbage bags to pick up stolen merchandise that was dropped on the ground. But we also met Gloria, who came down to help clean up at Bayfair when she saw the destruction from the looters on TV.
When I woke up this morning, I just said, what can I do for my community?
As for Carlos, he says this also hurts the 100 people he employs who've been struggling in the pandemic.
It's not a cause for anybody. This is just bad thieves. It's horrible. This is domestic terrorism.
In San Leandro, Quito, KPIX5.
It's crazy. And I don't know, people who call it peaceful protest is crazy.
The riots back in 1968.
The same was in Chicago.
The potential for conflict is high. I think that's probably the greatest similarity we're seeing here is just that we have a lot of folks on the street who are very passionate about wanting to make their voices known or their voices heard and protest the events of this past week. But you also have civic responsibility to keep order and to make sure that citizens of the city are safe. So it's a recipe for problems, and it's not something that's easily avoided.
And John, as I look at these pictures and I start to sort of recognize some of the neighborhoods that we're talking about, back then, how were some of these neighborhoods able to recover from some of the looting and the rioting and these fires that were set off? What did you see in those neighborhoods in the decades after?
Well, I think one of the really challenging things for Chicago has been that in some cases many of these neighborhoods never truly recovered or took decades to recover after the kind of violence that was experienced in the 60s, especially if you couple the 68 Democratic National Convention with the riots that followed the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King that April of that year. And the West Side.
It's crazy. So it's almost the same was in 1978. In Los Angeles, we destroyed completely
Reporter
Beverly Hills.
Joel Grover spoke with two restaurant owners caught in the crossfire. One, a world-famous chef who watched her business looted on live TV. The other, a small business person who confronted her looters face to face.
It was around 1 a.m. Saturday morning that looters smashed the windows of Yuko Kitchen in downtown L.A. The owner, Yuko Watanabe, says she showed up, chasing them away with a broomstick.
Who's gonna protect me? Nobody. So I had to protect myself.
Watanabe immigrated to L.A. from Japan when she was 20 years old with no money. 10 years later, she opened the first Yuko Kitchen in Miracle Mile. Then a second one in downtown L.A., which was hit by looters early Saturday morning. She actually recognized one of the looters.
You looked at one of the looters, you realized he lived in the building above your restaurant. Were you angry at him?
Of course. I wanted to beat them up, beat everybody up.
Even more shocking, 3 hours later, the looters returned and tried to sell her stolen kitchen equipment from another place they'd looted.
I saw this most ugliness in a human being they could ever be.
Around the same time, 8 miles away,
Live in Santa Monica, where a curfew underway and National Guard has arrived to help out. Michelle?
I cannot even begin to describe how it feels driving up to the promenade area and hearing fire alarms, hearing just a lot of machinery work. This is outside the Van store near Broadway. Look at all the debris. I feel like I met two angels. There was two men who swept all this up. They came from Norwalk in the valley. Here's a door that was broken down, and they came to help. I don't know how they got in, and then they just left. But this is the debris here outside the van. And look, this guitar, thanks, Joel, just left here inside the trash can. Look at all the glass, though. This is the scary thing about walking around because there's so much debris, so much destruction. We're walking toward the vans here, and these are the workers that have been here. Hey, Charles, you've been here since 9 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock, bitch, or something like that? Yeah, 9 o'clock.
What has it been like cleaning this up?
This kind of sucks, you know? I mean, I feel bad for the business owners. I mean, they're not at fault. So, it just sucks. But we're just tired. We got to go to work now, a regular job. This is a side job.
This is your side job?
Yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing.
It's my pleasure. It just sucks that this happened to them there, you know?
Almost every business out here.
It just sucks. It really sucks.
Charles, thank you so much.
Yeah,
okay, I want to show everyone, though, what Santa Monica looks like. This is an image that you've never seen, and that's the military police, National Guard, right here along Broadway and 4th here, and they are stationed about 12 feet apart. So they've been here standing guard outside the area. There we see an armored vehicle here from the National Guard driving through. So it almost felt like a war zone driving in, because you just see police, you see fire alarms going on, smoke alarms going on. Now, a lot of people, a lot of business owners are going to want to come out here, and they want to give everyone a chance. But because of the curfew, they want to let and ask everyone to come at 9 a.m. to bring your own gloves, bring your own bags, bring anything that might be needed for a cleanup here to stay safe during this pandemic as well. We will continue to bring you images live from San.
Well, what happened yesterday, based on what the chief said last night during a news conference, is that his officers would go to an area, they would get the calls, they would go to an area to make sure and try to secure and push the people out, and then those same people or other groups would go to another area. And I've got to keep hammering home that this was separate and apart from the peaceful protests that started. But yet you have a gentleman like this who clearly is connected with one of these businesses, and he just knelt down on his, put his hands to his knees at one point. He appeared to be in tears, and there's another gentleman here shaking his head on the corner. This is the kind of stuff. Sir, can I talk to you real quickly? Did you see this? You were shaking your head. You were shaking your head.
The most disgusting exhibition of human behavior so far this century. That's all I can say. These guys were out here. They weren't trying to send a message about Mr. Floyd. There were groups of people, 5 to 20, groups of cars, 3 to 5, out here looting. One guy had a pipe wrench about this high. And this is unnecessary. This doesn't send a message. It doesn't say, let's get socially involved, let's become registered voters, let's hold everyone accountable. This is no peace, no justice. Well, since it's going on, I'm not only going to get even, I'm going to get ahead. And that's what all this is about.
When I first spotted you, you were standing still, just shaking your head. The thoughts that were going through your mind at that point?
Well, a guy that's my age lived through the race riots, went through the, I don't, like I say, I'll get mine, I'll get more than mine.
Let's get right to live pictures of looting that is still going on. Chopper 5 is over the Walmart store in San Leandro, where people have been running in and out of a side door with whatever they can carry out. And now we are seeing some smoke coming out of the store, but police are just now moving in, and we will certainly keep an eye on this. And it is just part of the chaos erupting in shopping centers across the Bay Area, looting and destruction from San Leandro to Walnut Creek. We've also seen several arrests, including a mass arrest in San Francisco. KPIX5's Andrea Borba kicks off our coverage live from the Bayfair Center in San Leandro. Andrea.
Well, Juliet and Brian, just a few moments ago, the city of San Leandro declared a curfew here in the city. Everyone is to go home until 5 a.m. Now, Alameda County warned earlier this evening that everyone needed to stay home because of what they described as roving bands of looters and rioters. Now, we start you off with some Snapchat video from here at Bayfair Center of looters with what appears to be a Target and going in and stealing merchandise from there. From there, we have more video from a DSW shoe warehouse with dozens of people, as you can see from Chopper 5, going in and stealing shoes from inside that store. A short time later, San Leandro PD detained several people. There was an incident where there was flashbangs thrown at a white sedan here on the ground outside of Bayfair Center by San Leandro PD. We also have some more ground video. This is aftermath from Broadway Plaza, as Juliet said, out in the suburbs of Walnut Creek. It's an H&M store. There is glass on the ground, clothes on the ground. The store has been ransacked. Not much farther from there, it's still in Broadway Plaza. A Victoria's Secret also looted and raided. Bras and panties on the floor, glass broken. Also, still in Broadway Plaza, we have a Clark shoe store. This is video shot by one of our photographers on the ground there. There is glass on the ground, displays strewn on the ground. And finally, from Broadway Plaza, we have looters who we saw from Chopper 5. They were fighting over stolen goods outside of Broadway Plaza. Goods that were not theirs, that had been taken, and then a fight emerged among those looters. You can hear a helicopter over my head right now as unrest continues here in San Leandro. We interviewed one person about what they thought of all of this.
I look around and everything's on fire, everything is being broken into, everything's being broken down. Doesn't look like a good look out here right now.
Now we have some more video for you. This is from the 7-Eleven near Bay Bear Center here in San Leandro. There is a woman on the ground getting handcuffed. A second man also was detained in that incident. I can tell you things have not been quiet here in San Leandro since we arrived. Earlier this evening, we have heard nonstop helicopter.
It's crazy. And the same in Beverly Hills. We can take a look what's happening in Beverly Hills.
In Beverly Hills, a 1 p.m. curfew went into effect today, all part of an effort to prevent some of the looting and violence that happened in locations around Los Angeles, particularly in areas that have come to symbolize the difference between the haves and the have-nots. Jim Murray has the latest.
Looting now underway in Beverly Hills.
Mayhem in Beverly Hills as looters storm the luxury clothing store Alexander McQueen and make off with thousands of dollars worth of goods. In upscale Santa Monica, devastating destruction as the looters attack business after business.
Hey guys, you see this?
Extraordinary footage shows a woman using her body to try to stop looters, one armed with a hammer, from smashing their way into a sporting goods store. She's violently pulled away in this dramatic footage shot by Fox 11 in Los Angeles. Despite her efforts, looters make off with bicycles and backpacks. At Patagonia, they flee with surfboards. These looters make their getaway on a motorcycle. Bedlam at this band store. Looters pile out with shoeboxes. Watch this dude slip and fall. This guy grabs a shoebox, then tells a KCBS reporter why he's doing it.
People need to start chaos in order to make their point across.
Aerial shots show looters pouring out of Santa Monica Place Mall. One street over, I spotted people casually strolling with allegedly stolen goods. This guy proudly showed off his box to me. And this disturbing footage shows a man using an aerosol can to torch a San Bernardino DMV. Today, I'm getting an up-close look inside a CVS that's utterly trashed. The alarm at this drugstore is still going off hours after the destruction, and as you look around, you can see this wasn't just looted. It was ransacked, items thrown from the shelves and destroyed.
Yeah. This is just really sad.
Local resident Scott Carlson chokes up as he joins other volunteers who grabbed brooms and started cleaning up. And look inside this popular sushi restaurant that was set ablaze. This restaurant should be well on its way to reopening after being closed during the pandemic. Instead, this is what the owner comes to find today. Fire retardant on the ground and the entire restaurant has been torched. Lisa Guerrero picks up our coverage.
I'm on iconic Melrose Avenue here in Los Angeles, where storefront after storefront after storefront is boarded up. Interestingly, a lot of these small businesses have left messages for the looters that say, "We forgive you. Black Lives Matter, and we remember George Floyd."